How's it, gang? Aloha from the 808. Crash back with you, showing off some TTMs that we have received over the past couple months. Looks like we got 4 coming in today, but mail's not here yet, so we're gonna crank this video out and a lot to show, and we're kind of all over the place, so I'm gonna slam these out. First one, Oliver North. Most people know Oliver North. If you're older, Oliver North was a Vietnam War vet, National Security Council member during the Iran-Contra scandal. Don't really need to go there. You know, trading prisoners for weapons is, well, suspect. But he signed for us, and thank you very much. And his second signature for us on a photo. Next we have Uriah Fields. Uriah Fields was a author and a big backer of the civil rights movement. He worked in tandem with the Rosa Parks bus incident. Also worked closely with Reverend Martin Luther King. Cool dude. Signed 3 cards for us. 3 pictures for us. 1, 2, 3. Then sent us a note requesting a donation and his brochure. So sorry that doesn't look too great, but that's what it is. Next we have Mr. Clarence Thomas. Not much to say about Clarence Thomas. He is pretty much a Supreme Court justice, and that's what we got. He sent us that, and he sent us this. And for some reason, the top right corner got nipped off. Don't know why. Mr. Clarence Thomas. Next, we got some interesting stuff from the JFK era. This is from Mr. Bob Jackson, Robert Bob Jackson. He took the photo of Jack Ruby being shot. He ran for the Senate in, I think, like the mid-90s. He lost. Now he's like some political activist or something like that. I don't exactly know. But he took the picture of Jack Ruby getting shot, and you can see the gun right there, and it's kind of weird. And he signed 3 pictures for us. 1, 2, 3, all the same. And he signed right over the white. Oh, sorry. That was more. We'll get to that one in a second. So the next one is James Mason Moore, which is the one I accidentally put up. James Mason Moore was a witness to the JFK assassination. I think he was on like the 7th or 8th floor of a building a couple blocks away. He was a Navy recruiter. And we were kind of watching a documentary, and I was like, you know what, let's just reach out to this guy and see if he signs, because he's a political, you know, he saw something that was crazy. So, you know, it's kind of cool. And James Mason Moore signed a couple pictures for us. That one, and that one, and then 2 index cards. 1, 2, and then he wrote us a letter. And we asked the same questions we always ask. Something about food, and I believe it's a hot dog question. And he kind of wrote back something along the lines of, at 82 years old, whatever you want to eat, just go for it. And answered a question about barbecue, and he says he can't recall the name of some barbecue place, but it's under a freeway. And then he added a comment at the bottom that was really interesting, and we didn't ask it, but hey, well, you know, whatever. I'm going to read it verbatim. And it says, "The detective in the white suit hollered," and this is in quotes, "Jack, you son of a bitch," end quotes. And then he starts again. "Oswald did not shoot JFK. He was a setup. The bullet hit JFK in the front of his neck and blew the back of his head out. I say that as a Navy hospital corpsman who served in Vietnam." So we didn't ask anything about the assassination or his role in it, but he added that, and I thought that was very interesting. So, okay. Next, we have Mr. Steve Miller, and he only signed it Steve, but it says all the best, Steve, and that's cool. If you don't know who Steve Miller is, you're late to the party. And then we sent a second picture to Steve Miller. Unfortunately, it wasn't Steve Miller. And it says, Maddie, this isn't me. What were you thinking with the skull and crossbones? And then on the back, I think this is Don McLean, excuse me. So, yeah, oops. Sorry, dude. Then we have Mr. Bob Baffert. Mr. Bob Baffert, he is a famous horse trainer, like the number one in the world. Trains 3-year-old thoroughbreds, and basically his goal is to kind of get to the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, the Belmont every year, and he's darn good at what he does. He has 2 Triple Crowns. If you don't know what a Triple Crown is, it is a horse that has won the Preakness, the Belmont, and the Belmont Stakes all in 1 year, and it's not happened a lot. He has 2 horses that he has trained that have done just that. One is American Pharoah, and one is Justify. So we sent him 2 pictures for autograph. I love that he's wearing the Arizona Wildcats hat. That's one of my favorite teams ever. So I dig that totally. Then we have him with a horse. I don't know the name of the horse, sorry. Then he answered our questions. He did not return the letter request, but apparently his favorite food is steak, and apparently his favorite horse that he trained was Triple Crown winner American Pharoah. So that's cool. Next up we got San Diego Chicken. Gotta love the San Diego Chicken. I mean, who doesn't? So we sent that one off, and there's not much to say about it, but I'll just read that real quick. It says, thank you for your nice note. To your question, my favorite parks to visit include Wrigley Field, Texas Arlington Stadium in the 80s and 90s, and Victory Field at Indianapolis. All great stages. Good luck. Ted Gianolos. So that was cool as well. Next we have Mrs. Susan Sarandon. And I actually think she was the best character in this movie, Bull Durham. And I'm going to guess she signs these like by the lot, by the bunch, because it's written in blue Sharpie and it says, welcome to the Church of Baseball. Signature at the bottom, but my daughter's name is written in black at the top. So I'm going to guess she like signs multiples of these and then just personalizes the top. But I'm still super thankful. We'll also have another TTM out to her, and it's been like 250 days, so I'm going to write that one off as ain't coming back. Next we have, this guy's a decent coach. He's won, I don't know, I want to say, 8 Super Bowls. 8 Super Bowls. 6 as a head coach. 2 as, I think he was an offensive coordinator. So my daughter made this like custom thing and sent it off to him, and he signed it. And it's Bill Belichick. And obviously he is the coach of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. That's a joke. New England Patriots. Greatest coach of all time. Well, that's kind of pushing it, but he's one of the greatest coaching minds that I've ever seen. So we appreciate that. He also signed this picture for us. Silver Sharpie. Next we have Jerry Springer. Nothing much to say about Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer is Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer Show. Yeah. So, and then we have an icon. Like an icon. Bob Newhart. He is 93 years old. He was on the Bob Newhart Show. I loved his deadpan and his stammering kind of delivery style. He also had that show, Newhart. It was in the mid-90s, I think. I think it was based in Vermont or Connecticut. I can't recall, but I always thought he was hilarious. So, Bob Newhart. And he sent us an index card. And a black and white photo. And a color photo of the Bob Newhart Show. So Bob Newhart. Next. Arguably the best country singer ever. I mean, she's just great. I would honestly put her at number one, but that's just my opinion. Dolly Parton. And she also signed that photo for us as well. Next, we got Carol Burnett, which is, in my opinion, literally the queen of comedy. Funniest lady I've ever seen in my entire life. Carol Burnett Show. She's won Emmys, Tonys, Grammys, Golden Globes, you name it. She has won it all. So she signed a bunch for us, a bunch of pictures. And I think this came in two different GTMs, so we didn't send these all to her in one shot. So we got that one. We got that one. Sorry. We've got that one. Index card. Love those. Another picture. One more picture. And she wrote back on our letter of request, and we asked her a question, if I may, your favorite memory. And her answer was, and I thought we were going to get something, career wise, acting career, Golden Globes, Tonys, Grammys, whatever, Emmys, being accepted at UCLA. So I think that's cool. A little humbling. Next, this is kind of an interesting one to me. And I always say this: collect what you want. A lot of the stuff I collect, autograph wise, and even not autograph wise, is stuff I like. Like what you like and collect what you like. Guy Fieri. So, interesting story on this one. He signed this picture for us on the right hand side, silver Sharpie. And we, my wife and I, we do competition barbecue. We've done over 100 contests competitively in KCBS and IBCA, and the acronyms don't mean nothing. I'm going to do another video here on barbecue autographs here coming up shortly, but that's not important. So, long story short, we did a barbecue contest here in Hawaii. It was not a sanctioned contest. It was a backyard contest, and we got to become really good friends with the owner of this restaurant. It's called Fresh Catch. It's in Kaneohe. There's also one on the other side of the island. They primarily sell fresh fish, raw, and local style cuisine. All right, so apparently Triple D, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and Guy Fieri came out, and they were shooting the show. And the owner, Reno, called us up and said, hey, I'd like you guys come out and be on the show. And we're like, okay, sure, we'll be there. So we go out, and we're sitting there just doing our thing, and the cameras are rolling, and we're just sitting there doing our thing. I don't even recall it. And Guy Fieri comes up, and he sits down with us, and he starts talking with us, and he probably talked to us for 5 minutes or so, and he's doing his spiel, and we're talking back with him. And long story short, we were aired on the program for a whole whopping 3 seconds. So we saw it on TV one day, and I was like, oh, dude, that's us. So I took a picture off the TV, and I was like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to autograph it, and we're going to sign it. We're going to send it to Fieri and see what happens. Well, so I signed it, and that's my wife on the top. And we both signed it. He signed it, and he sent it back. So that's cool. Thank you, Mr. Fieri. Mr. Ed Asner. All right, he was a great actor. I really liked him. Mary Tyler Moore Show, 7 Emmys. He passed in 2021. And this is an old one, TTM wise for us. But I saw it and I was like, dude, I remember this one because we sent it out and he sent it back fairly quickly. Autographed with a nice note, which it's not very legible. I gotta be honest with you. I'll have to really look at it. And then, sadly, a week later, he passed away. So rest in peace, Mr. Asner, and I'm thankful that I probably got one of the last autographs that you ever signed. So thank you, sir. Next we have Mrs. Lisa Loeb. And it says, Maddie, thank you for the nice note. You're lucky. I love too many favorite foods to list just one. Lisa Loeb. And honestly, it's weird because this autograph and this autograph, they don't look anything alike, in my opinion. But they came together. So, whatever. It is what it is. Secretary, maybe? I don't know. That's what we got from Mrs. Lisa Loeb. And the last one right there. Signed on the left-hand side. Silver on silver. Signature. And we have Mr. David Cameron. Mr. David Cameron is the former Prime Minister of the University of Kentucky. Just kidding. United Kingdom. Conservative dude. I don't know much about him. I don't follow overseas politics really, but I saw these signed and I sent a picture and they sent it back on their dime, returned our SASE, and also sent this note. And it basically says, I'm writing to thank you for your letter, apologizing for the delay, sending your SASE back, and here's a picture for you, signed. That's pretty much the gist of the letter. So, then we got this one. Sorry for the ceiling fan. This is a glossy, so that's what's going to happen here. Obviously, Vanna White, Pat Sajak. So our family we're nerds. I'm not going to lie. We sit down as a family just about every night and we watch Wheel of Fortune together, and it's all the three girls versus dad, and I win 90% of the time. Just had to throw that out there. Then we got this. This is one of those collect what you want to collect. Because nobody cares about this except for myself and my daughter. We're huge baseball fans. We're huge college baseball fans. This is a picture of University of Hawaii Manoa campus. This is the baseball stadium. This is the football. I don't want to call it a stadium, but that's what they're using right now. This is from Mr. Rich Hill. He was hired about 3 years ago as the University of Hawaii men's baseball coach, and we just thought, hey, let's just reach out to him and see if he'll sign something for us, because we're weird like that. So we did, and he wrote a note, and it says, Aloha, Maddie. Thank you for reaching out. I want to make all of Hawaii fans of Hawaii proud. I think it's awesome. You can have a baseball conversation with your dad. Hope to meet you guys someday. I'm still a big L&L guy. Guess we asked him a food question. L&L is basically a plate lunch place here in Hawaii. And then he says, but I want to try Fat Boys someday, which is also a plate lunch place. So that's from Mr. Rich Hill, coach of the UH Warrior baseball team. Then we have Mrs. Vicky Persinger. So my daughter got totally into curling during the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, obviously. And I don't know why, but she just thought it was fascinating. And she watched and she's like, dude, I totally want that girl's autograph. And she was cool and she was classy and she held herself well. And so we printed some pictures off Amazon when Amazon would let us do that. And we sent off 4 pictures to her and a letter of request asking some questions. So we got that one. We got that one. We got that one. And we got that one. And then we got index card. Warmest wishes from Alaska. Smiley face. And then she drew a little curling stone, I think they call it. Maddie, hope you get to curling, try curling sometime. And autograph that. Then I'm going to suppose these are the questions we asked. Ketchup on a hot dog. It sounds like your dad may frown on both of us. Absolutely yes to ketchup on a hot dog. I disagree. However, corn dogs are even better. I'll agree with that. So that's cool. And one more, barbecue. I am not sure I am well versed enough in barbecue to pick a favorite. Maybe I'll have to visit Hawaii to try some out. Okay, so that's it for the TTMs. Then I got this last thing. It's not a TTM, but it's cool. And it's going to be hard to show off because I'm going to have to read the back. And again, it's in plastic, so sorry for the fan. It is a letter from the 1860s. And I had a friend send this to me, and I don't know why he sent it. And I'm kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. I haven't taken it out of the plastic or looked at it. I haven't opened the envelope. I haven't done anything with it. But I'm going to pick it up because it's kind of hard to see. But, yeah, it's not the best. You could kind of tell that they didn't put an address on it. So they just put the person's name. And I think it looks like the state. And there's no address. So it didn't get there. But on the back, it has all this information about it. So I'm going to take this away from the camera and read it because, quite honestly, it's kind of blurry and I can't see it. So, 1 second as I figure this out. Okay, so this was mailed from Manchester, New Hampshire on November 7th, which, by the way, November 7th, December 7th. That was Pearl Harbor Day, so that's kind of commemorative. It was mailed around the 1860s. No return address, no street address to the place of delivery. It's a small envelope that would not have been delivered these days, and a quill was used to write with. It's a 3-cent stamp that was issued twice in 1861 and was sent to Mrs. Well, I'm not going to say the name, that's not important. But I thought it was cool. And that's all the information that's on the back. And that, again, upside down, that's the envelope. So that thing is, 163 years old? So I don't know what to do with it. I'm almost thinking about, trying to find the family. Because I feel bad opening an envelope that's not mine. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that one. That's all I got for now. Crash out.